Our next speaker is Dr. Atul Khadane, past president of Amravati District Ophthalmic Society, zonal member MORS, an innovative surgeon who is going to be showcasing an exemplary surgery in the next 4 minutes. On to you, Dr. Atul.
Hello, am I audible?
You're audible, but we can't see your video.
No, I think he has to play it. Yeah.
Is it? Is it? Huh, yeah, yeah,
It is.
yeah.
It is
Yes.
Perfect.
Good afternoon, everyone. At the beginning, I would like to express my thanks to Chitra ma'am, Harshul sir for giving me this opportunity. As you can see, this is a case of a traumatic subluxated cataract, almost 180 degree. I am marking the subluxation with the area of center of the subluxation. Managing such subluxated cataract is always a surgical challenge. In this video, I am going to demonstrate the use of AC anchor, a novel device to manage such type of cataracts. The most critical step in managing such cases to have a perfect CCC, irrespective of whichever method you use to fix the bag. After making a clear corneal incision, now you are seeing that I am inserting a tenoprolene suture 1.5 millimeter away from the center of my subluxation, passing through sclera and bring it out through the main incision with the help of a cannula. Routinely, surgeons use Sionis ring to manage such type of subluxation that is more than 6 o'clock hours or 180 degree. And in this case, I have used an implant called AC anchor. The AC anchor is a 2.5 millimeter wide PMMA uniplanar implant. It has a central rod and the two lateral arms. Now, once the tenoprolene suture needle is out, I'm threading it through the central hole of the central rod. And then the tenoprolene needle is again taken back through the sclera at the same site with the help of a 26 number needle. The two lateral arms of the implant are designed to reach the lens equator and provides a segmental equatorial support. And the anterior rod is sutured to the scleral wall using a non-absorbable suture, like in this case, a tenoprolene. So now you're saying that I have inserted the 26 gauge needle, and now I am trying to threaded the tenoprolene needle into the hub of a 26 number needle. Now, once it is threaded into the hub of a 26 gauge needle, the tenoprolene suture is taken out. Uh, the uniplanar design of this implant allows a smooth insertion through a tight corneal incision. You don't have to enlarge the incision. However, the placement of the two arms, that is the two lateral arms behind the capsule and the central element in front requires some intraocular manipulations. Some surgical skill is required here. That is what I feel, because I face a lot of problems initially because of the uniplanar design. We can take the use of an 20 gauge forceps, 20 gauge side port forceps to facilitate this maneuver easily. Now, once this is done, the implant is fixed with an temporary stay knot. Don't try to fix the knot permanently here. Now, once the stay knot is given, the rest of the procedure is just like a routine cataract. The phacoemulsification procedure is to remove cataract is almost like as if we are doing on a stable and a well-centered lens. The biggest advantage of SA anchor is that here we can fix the bag before the removal of cataract. While the Sionis ring insertion before cataract removal is more challenging, not that easy. Rotation of a ring inside a bag which is unstable, there are chances that you may shear out the remaining intact zonals and more iatrogenic damage. The final suture knot is then tied in a 4:3:1 fashion, and it is buried in the sclera under the conjunctiva. Dr. Ehudasi, who is the inventor of this implant, he didn't recommend to bury the suture to make an scleral flaps for this. He said you can bury it directly under the conjunctiva into the sclera. Removal of cortex is in routine fashion with the bimanuals. I am routinely doing it, or whichever method you are comfortable. And putting an IOL in the bag is also in the same fashion. Nothing great in that. The suture, once it is done, the suture threads are cut flush to the knot. The wound is we can seal with the routine hydration, and thus we can see that the ASI anchor facilitates the creation of a well centered IOL capsular bag complex, and therefore it helps in effective visual restoration post-operative. Patient is very happy.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Atul. That was a, you stop sharing.
Yeah.
That was a wonderful video. I noticed that you placed this before you are even doing a hydro.
Yes.
Could it trap the cortex and epinucleus?
No, madam. If that is the trick. If I have done the first case, this is my fourth case. In the first case, where I initially do hydrodissection. After that, the cortical material once get disturbed, now it's very difficult to place the two lateral arms behind the capsule and the central rod in front of the capsule. The things get little bit blurred. In the second and third case, I thought I will put it initially because the things were very clear to do the procedure easily there. In the first case, I get a problem because I did hydrodissection first. The cortex get disturbed, and then it is just a mess to put the implant in the proper place.
So the other question which I wanted to ask
The knot is also exposed. Chitra, the knot is also exposed.
I actually when I saw Dr. Ehud Asi's video, and when I have this case, these Hanita peoples made a con call to Dr. Asi, and he said that, and I also asked the same question, okay, do I need to make a scleral flaps to bury the knot? He said nothing to doing. I am doing this. I have experience of 25 cases, and I'm not doing any scleral flaps to bury the knot. So that's why I also
you just make a scleral groove there. You don't have to make a flap. Just put a groove there and put the knot in the groove.
Okay.
So
Hoffman's pocket
makes life easier.
Just like Hoffman's pocket.
Yeah.
Hoffman's you can do that.
Now, can you do this in the presence of a CTR or
Yeah.
PCR also? PCR.
Yeah, that is the greatest advantage, because here the ASI anchor fixed the anterior capsular wall. The equator is still free. You can easily mix. I have used CTR with the with ASI anchor also. If I feel
not CTR, I meant if you have a posterior capsular rent.
In that case,
you have to take it out if you have, like, if you have a PCR, which happened after you have placed it. This would remain anchored.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to take this out, I guess, because this will be still anchored. Unlike a CTR, which you'll have to take out because that will get displaced.
Yes.
In fact, this might be the only because otherwise the CTS is always going to be better because it anchors at the equator and this anchors at the edge of the rhexis. So in a PCR, the edge of the rhexis, if the rhexis is still intact, would still be anchored nicely. So in the case of a PCR, this would be the ideal way to fixate rather than use a a CTS or even a Sionis ring.
Yeah.
I want to add a point. If you want to add an anchor before doing a hydro, what it said is that you put a viscoelastic just below the rhexis till the fornix. That actually pushes the cortex down. It creates your space, and then you put your anchor. So there is no question of your cortex getting engaged in this anchor at all. So this is one way of doing that.
No, the problem is sometimes the cortex will come and obscure your view. That is what he was mentioning, that when you do hydro, a lot of cortex will come there and obscure. You do not know whether it's going underneath the rhexis or above the rhexis.
So more the trick is, once you do your rhexis, put your viscoelastic from the margin of the rhexis.
Got a point.
Just keep putting it little all around till the fornix. Nothing is going to happen to your cortex. Create your space, and that's one way of even putting an endocapsular ring before. So this is one way that you will never engage your cortex at all.
Yes.
And what is the
CTR, I think.
Yes.
And removal of the cortex in the presence of a CTR is not a big issue, because if you go circumferentially instead of radially, don't pull it towards the center of the pupil. Go circumferentially along the equator, then it will come out easily.
Yes.
So and what is the cost of this device, Dr. Atul? What is the cost of this device?
They are giving it 9,000. Hanita peoples are giving.
And do you reuse it?
No, sir. Once it is fixed, it is.
Oh, fine. I'm sorry.
Once it
Unless the
is-
patient dies.
I'm sorry.
Patient dies, it's a postmortem we can take.
The advantage I feel is, sir, because the
Right, right.
bags is fixed before the cataract procedure, na? So otherwise, if you use a Sionis or if you use a segment, you have to fix the bag with the capsular hooks, then remove the cataract, and then you have to put your the element to fix the bag. So doing an phaco in a bag which is not fixed, which is not that stable, little bit more chances of complications. Luckily, in all 4 cases, I don't have any sort of complication like PCR, madam said. So I don't have that experience. Also, what happens if the PCR runs? What should I do for the implant?
Hmm.
Good.
Perfect.